It is a day that Raoni Mekutiri has long been looking forward to. After several months spent in the city, recovering from the coronavirus that he contracted in August, the 92-year-old chief of the Kayepo tribe is finally back in his village.
I really wanted to go home. It's been a long time. I'm better now.
An hours-long journey on top of the one that he's been travelling for more than 50 years. That of defending the Amazon rainforest, devoured by deforestation, soybean monocultures, and illegal gold mines, like this one, visible from the window. At the gates of the Kayepo territory, still virgin of any invasion, there's a new threat that Felipe Bar has come to discover for the first time.
It is very emotional to see these parts of the world which are still pristine, which must inspire us to continue to fight, to make sure that things change in our daily lives. It's because of our consumption as Westerners that this kind of devastation exists in the first place.
If Raoni is inviting this leader of an NGO to his village today, it's because his association comes to offer him legal support. Backed by his people, Raoni has filed a complaint this January at the International Criminal Court in The Hague against Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro, who he accuses of crimes against humanity and the extermination and enslavement of indigenous peoples. Raoni is in mourning for his wife, who died in June of complications related to COVID-19. Kayepo tradition states that he does not leave his home. But he's still invited 14 other elders from the Kayepo and also other tribes who are all part of the Xingu. It's a job that's taken time. Megaron, Raoni's nephew, convinced each of them one by one.
Bolsonaro called me,
If Bolsonaro was tried here by Kayepo justice,
according to Kayepo justice, bad people who have a bad influence and who don't respect others have been kicked out. They're banished from here.
The complaint at the High Court is the result of more than 2 years of work as a family. During this time, Raoni has passed on his ancestral knowledge to his grandsons, Pacho and Beptuk.
We must follow his example, but above all, we must learn from him how he manages his battles. He always tells us you have to acquire the knowledge of the whites and know the way of working of the whites. Use their weapons to defend your territory.
Associating with the French is so that other chiefs of different Brazilian ethnicities lead by his example and file complaints.
We need to have this complaint recognized and the rights of indigenous peoples to be respected in their territory, in their culture, and according to the demarcations of their lands which are violated today.
The demarcation of indigenous lands is one of the main violations denounced at The Hague. For someone who has stood up to many presidents, today he sees no other possible solution than seeking international justice.
I tried to go through the Brazilian justice system, but nobody paid attention to me. So I went to France and I spoke with the association's lawyer so that he could listen to me, and together we denounced Bolsonaro so that he is definitively removed from power, so that we can finally be at peace. It's because of him that a leader of the Guajajara people was killed last year. It is he who urged farmers to go and kill the Wayapi leader too. And it is because of him that deforestation has increased, because he does not punish those who invade our territory. That's why I'm asking for your help.
Last year, Brazil broke a sad record. Not in a decade have so many indigenous people been killed, and so many hectares of forest burnt to the ground. Raoni breaks the tradition of mourning and sets off to visit a healer in another village. After several hours on a boat, under torrential rain, we arrive at the BR-163. a dirt road in the heart of Caiapo territory. It's supposedly a protected area. The Brazilian government wants to pave it, creating a highway to make it easier to transport soybeans and livestock.
I will always fight against this road. It is a symbol of the invader, just like the Belo Monte Dam. It is very dangerous. This road brings disease and destruction.
In 2020, Jair Bolsonaro approved a bill that aims to open up indigenous territories to mining and farming. These vast soybean fields are at the gates of this village, home to the Trumai people. The chief healer is the one who receives Raoni.
Me, my wife, and my sons, we were afraid for Raoni because he's the only person who defends us and fights for us. And that worries us because to this day, we don't know anyone who's prepared to succeed him when he's no longer here. That worries us greatly.
For the next 3 days, the healer will make him inhale the smoke from this herb mixture. Dancers will come and go, performing with their jerky rhythms. At the house where Raoni is staying, under the shelter of the cameras. Between two ceremonies, he still wants to share a final message.
I had a vision. In this vision, a spirit was telling me, Raoni, they kill animals and birds, and their spirits revolt. I think the earth will revolt against us humans if we do nothing. I want you to send this message to the world.
The International Criminal Court is not obliged to follow up on the complaint, but it won't be Raoni's last word. And in this environmental, political and social context, during a health crisis, for the first time since his election, a majority of Brazilians want their president to be dismissed.